Okay, Jackie. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Jackie Clark, and she loves making everything with cashews and making yogurts, cheeses, sour cream, and she has been doing it for a long time, and it's our great privilege to have her show us how to do it. Okay?
Thank you. So it's really simple, and I'm starting with the yogurt, and then I'm going to make sour cream, and then I will do the sauce for the stroganoff. So, and it's, like I said, it's really simple. So it's a half a cup of yogurt, a cup of yogurt. No, this is almond milk. Yeah, I'll get it together here. It's a cup of almond milk, and then 2/3 of a cup of cashews that were soaked overnight and drained. And then a half a cup of yogurt.
This says 3/4 cup of plain yogurt.
It's half, and then there's going to be another 1/4 of a cup later.
And this is the yogurt you made?
And this is the yogurt I made.
Right.
From, and which I'm going to show you from the yes, the same thing. Okay, so. And you definitely want to get it smooth, and all the rest to be wrong. It's pretty creamy. And then you add it to a pot. And you heat it on low until it's 110 degrees, or I always do the wrist test. When it's warm, when you put it on your wrist. So, and I've never used this burner before, so I'm not sure.
Jackie, do you have a thermometer?
I do have a thermometer. And then you add 3 more cups, and I'm using soy milk. It can be almond milk. The stuff that I already made, that we're going to eat today, I made the almond milk. In that recipe, it shows you how easy it is. It's the same thing. You throw it in here and then pour it through a strainer, and you have almond milk. And this stuff is really runny until it sits overnight. So that's basically what you're going to see with this batch, is that it's going to be very liquidy. Has anybody else tried this before, the stroganoff? The original recipe that I used called for seitan in it, which is a meat substitute, but it's so good with the mushrooms. I won't stick my finger in there. I actually use the... So this is when we should have been doing the noodles while I was doing this, huh?
So you used a full thing of the soy milk.
It's 4 cups, and I used the 1 cup in here, and then the other 3 you add later. Has everybody been playing with the vegan cooking? It's so much fun, isn't it?
So if you don't use your own yogurt, is there one that you recommend in the store that you could use?
This is the one, and Petra has another one too. You wanna show your other yogurt?
Oh, yes.
This is the one I always use, unsweetened coconut. You wanna see it?
So what is the brand name, Minnesota?
So delicious.
What is it?
So delicious.
Okay,
Soy.
so you can buy that at Safeway or?
I'm not sure about Safeway. They do have it at Harvest and they do have it at Corners.
Corners has this organic dairy-free cashew yogurt. It's unsweetened.
And you definitely want unsweetened.
Question.
Yes.
You're using this yogurt to get the bio seed for the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I'm using the yogurt, it's
I don't know.
It's for fermentation,
Yeah,
is what it is. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
otherwise it would be,
It would be very, and it will be also, it'll just be sweet today. But 8 hours and it's nice and tart. So I usually do it at night and then in the morning and set it on the refrigerator overnight. And then in the morning, it's more yogurt. It's a little bit thicker. And then what you can do is I use a strainer and a layer of cheesecloth, and then I pour it through that, and you can leave it all day doing that if you want something that's really firm like a cheese, or you can just, whenever it's tart enough for you, then you can just put it in the refrigerator. Let's see what's going on with this. I used to be able to see, it was really fun.
You need some glasses?
I actually have them right here. I was trying to get away without using them, but I don't guess that's gonna work. And it also doesn't help that I think that it's in a different language.
Is it Celsius?
So we're already there.
It's a conspiracy.
So it's 110, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And you have that
And
on.
we're at 110.8, so I think that's good. And then,
Linda, that's what we need for you to get a food bank. One of those things so she can pour it into jars.
my mom's,
Yeah. I had Mother's
Oh.
glass funnel.
that was not right.
And it got.
Are you supposed to add a quarter of a cup? and
I do need a babysitter. Okay. So here's the last quarter of the cup.
Now, why do you use the last quarter after it's done, Jackie?
Just because I substitute this is supposed to be Rejuvelat.
Oh.
And I don't use Rejuvelat, so
Okay.
I just substitute, but I don't get it, over where it'll destroy the bacteria or anything. And I guess I could have put it all in, but I just like doing it that way.
I'll tell you, my cheese sure turned out a lot better when you told me that. Cheese. I'm learning English.
Now I can do this.
What was that you used instead of Rejuvelat?
I just use yogurt. And so if it calls for a quarter of a cup of Rejuvelat, because it's so much stronger, then I use a half a cup of yogurt. And it works.
What's Rejuvelat?
Rejuvelat is made from grains and you ferment them and it's, I don't know, I guess it's got a lot of the good bacteria in it and it's very, very strong compared to yogurt. But, it's a real trip to make it. And I'm not sure health department wise whether it's a good
might
thing.
still be on, I'm not sure.
Pardon?
The pan might still be on.
It is, but
Oh, okay.
She calls it a trip, I call it a pain in the neck.
well, it is, and things can go wrong with it, and I don't know, I'm trying to do things that the health department likes. So, okay, so there's your yogurt, you put it on the refrigerator overnight. I cover it with a piece of cheesecloth, and then the next morning you've got yogurt.
If you put a lid on it, that wouldn't work.
I will take the lid off when I go home, but yeah, you can, it's just, I think that, getting the air down there helps with the fermentation. So if you put a lid on it, don't tighten it down. Or you can even use a paper towel. I mean, sometimes I'll do a paper towel on top and I'll put a rubber band to hold it or something like that.
And you put it in someplace warm, right? Yes.
Yeah, up on the refrigerator, yeah, which is
So
warm.
on top and not in.
No, not in it, on top of the refrigerator, overnight.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's just because my refrigerator, where it is, the hot air goes right to that corner, but it works really, really well. So, okay, so that's stage one, and now I'm gonna make the sour cream. And I'm gonna use the same blender because it's got the same stuff in it, right? So this is the sour cream. So it's a cup of soaked all night cashews. That didn't sound good, did it?
Dangerous.
What did you say before you said cashews?
Soaked all
so-
night.
All night, oh, okay.
And that's the way I do it. All it needs is 3 hours, but I usually soak everything all night. I want it to be really soft so that you can't tell that it's nuts when it's done. Okay, and 1 cup of yogurt. And this is what it looks like the next morning before you strain it. And because I'm using it for a sauce, I don't strain it. So it's, you see it's still really liquidy. And does anybody mind just a pinch of salt? Okay.
What are you straining out of it when you strain it? What comes?
The liquid comes out of the out in the bottom. So that's what you're straining is the liquid, and then you get a more solid yogurt. You know, like what you buy in the store, like what this was.
That's the kefir, right?
Huh?
Kefir?
Well, I don't know. I call it that, but I'm not sure that's really what it is. Okay, so. This class has a lot of blender noise in it.
What would you like? A spoon? Yes.
So let's see. I think I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water. Thank you. Sure. And that's it, there's the sour cream. Now that was easy, right? Okay, so, now we're gonna make the sauce.
Jackie, can I ask a question?
Yes.
If you were to wanna make a cheesecake, would you use that sour cream for the topping? You know how they do a sour cream on top of the top? Or is it savory sour cream?
No, you could definitely do that, yeah. It's not too savory, and right now, before it sours overnight, it's very sweet. You know, just from the nuts. So,
The raw cashews are sweet.
they really are, and those Costco ones they are so amazing compared to just the kinds that you get in the store. So I don't use a lot of oil because I have diabetes and fat causes diabetes, so this is what I do.
Have you tasted the Costco cashews?
Yes, that's
Why
what I was
not
just saying,
Costco,
they are,
Amazon?
oh,
Because they're very sweet as well.
but they're not they don't have even half the flavor of the Costco ones. I
Really?
don't know why. But I did a taste comparison, because I've got the Amazon ones. And I was just completely blown away. I don't wanna mess up anybody's paint. Okay.
Can I ask you a question? When you do the sour cream and you let it rest overnight, do you do that with a cheesecloth as well?
I do,
Okay.
or paper towel.
Okay, same as the yogurt.
Sometimes I have glass dishes, and a lot of times I'll put it in a glass dish. And sometimes I'll just lay one of those lids on.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's almost foolproof. You know, you really have to try to mess up practically.
Okay.
And that's my kind of cooking.
And it's cheaper. You can save a lot of money that way and get the probiotics.
Okay, so that's a half of a medium onion right there. Has anybody been trying water sauteing?
Yes,
It's so wonderful, isn't it?
it is.
I mean, I would have argued 10 years ago about whether that would work or not.
Is that what it's like, that you're doing there?
I'm just about to put water in here. As soon as the onions heat up, then I'll add a little bit of water before I put the mushrooms in.
So you put the oil on a paper towel and just move to ground?
Yeah, I just don't want it to stick, is
Right.
all.
I heard of a lady whose husband was really angry if dinner wasn't going, so she put an onion in the oven.
Did it work?
It worked. She hurried fast. I don't get it. That house smelled like she was preparing dinner.
These onions are fragrant.
They really are.
I mean, it wasn't this morning when I made the other, but
I also like to use vegetable broth, Jackie.
I sometimes use vegetable broth, not with this dish, I don't. And so I do a tablespoon at a time and I'm eyeballing it, but you don't want too much water in there because you don't want to boil it.
Right.
And does anybody know about mushroom nutrition?
Tell
Really
us.
good for the brain.
Gloria, Changa,
Pardon?
and Rishi, Gloria, Changa, and Chitali.
And these are crimini, which are, those are especially good for brain health, right? Okay, and so this is 2 cups of sliced crimini mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
I do too.
So I saw one, this was in a Rachel Ray magazine, and it was a portobello mushroom burger, and it was, she turned it upside down and filled it with other kinds of mushrooms. Yes, I did that. It was so good.
And then what did she do? How did she cook it?
You cook it in a pan like this. Do the bottom side first, and then you flip it over, and you've got the other mushrooms cooking around the edges, and you scoop them up and put it in it. And she used cheese. I sometimes will use like vegan sliced cheese. Put that on top of it, and then in an organic bun. Oh gosh. With lots of greens, those super greens. I put a handful of greens on everything.
Do you use mustard?
Mustard, I do. And I think I did actually put mustard on that.
I make my own Dijon mustard. I've always liked grape coupon. And next to mine, there's a cookbook Jackie told.
That sounds like a little ego there.
Jackie, it's the recipe, it's not me. Jackie, 2 years ago, I would have been a vegan had I not had to give up meat. And this girl's been working on me how many years, Jackie? It finally got through.
How do you make
I
that?
think Petra's the one who got through to you.
You soak the seeds and you put, I got the recipe, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it
So
to you.
my stove cooks a little faster than this, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you're.
Okay, so what have we done so far? We sauteed the onions, we sauteed the mushrooms, and then we add the sour cream. And that's it.
Are you gonna add the Bragg's?
I am just about to squirt that. I'm just about to do that.
So you just squirt it in there.
Yeah. And it gives it, you know, it gives it a little bit of flavor without it being too salty.
Good idea.
That's good stuff.
And I like the spray bottle because I have poured it in before and ruined things. So that's one of the only things I've done that really ruins stuff. This stuff is really, this vegan cooking is just so easy. It's hard to goof it up. She says, okay, we're not.
And we have some here in case you want more, and Patricia yeast on
I really like.
Okay, that's the sour cream I made day before yesterday.
Nice and thick.
you. Yeah.
It thickens up pretty good.
And it gets sour as you leave it.
It does. The longer you let it sit, the more sour it gets. And even after you put it in the refrigerator, it still gets sour.
So I guess you should use it before you let it sit too long.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably a week.
Jackie, what was that dish you made us for breakfast?
the vegan Benedict.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That was good.
I don't know if you guys have tried the hollandaise sauce from the Ravens cookbook. It takes 2.5 minutes to make it. And it doesn't separate, and you don't have to watch how you heat it, and it's better. And I'm a hollandaise freak, but, oh, so good.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, we like all those cute little noises. Okay, I'm gonna taste this, but I'm not gonna put the spoon back in there. Oh, yum. Okay, guys, that was it.
All right.
Thank you. Easy? Anybody could do that, don't you think? I think so too. So I'm gonna add this to the other, and then we can eat. Yay.